Susa, Persia, 444 B.C. Nehemiah held one of the most trusted positions in the ancient world, cupbearer to the king. He tasted the wine to ensure no poison reached the king's lips. He lived in luxury, but his heart was 1,000 miles away. My brother Hanani has arrived from the homeland. I must know. Hanani, tell me of Jerusalem. How are the people? How is the city of our fathers? Nehemiah, those who survived the exile are in great trouble and disgrace. The wall of Jerusalem is broken down, and its gates have been burned with fire. The city is a skeleton. For days, Nehemiah didn't eat. He didn't sleep. He prayed. He knew that a city without walls was a city without a future. Nehemiah, why is your face sad while you are not sick? This is nothing but sadness of heart. Lord, give me success. May the king live forever. Why should my face not look sad when the city where my ancestors are buried lies in ruins? What is it you want? If it pleases the king, send me to the city in Judah so that I can rebuild it. And I will need letters for safe passage, and timber from the royal forest for the gates. The king didn't just say yes, he sent Nehemiah with an escort of army officers. The cupbearer was going home, not with the goblet, but with the blueprint. Nehemiah arrived in Jerusalem. He didn't tell anyone why he was there. In the dead of night, he rode his horse around the perimeter. Ash, stones the size of men tumbled over. Gates turned to charcoal. It's worse than they said. The next morning, he stood before the priests and the nobles. You see the trouble we are in. Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, and we will no longer be in disgrace. Let us start rebuilding. The work began, but as the wall rose, so did the opposition. Sanballat and Tobiah, local governors who hated the Jews, stood at the foot of the hill. What are those feeble Jews doing? Will they finish in a day? Even a fox climbing on that wall would break it down. The God of heaven will give us success. We, his servants, will start rebuilding. The threats grew. Sanballat gathered an army to attack. The workers were exhausted. Half the wall was built, but the people were losing heart. Do not be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, who is great and awesome, and fight for your families, your sons and your daughters. Nehemiah changed the strategy. From that day on, half the men did the work while the other half held spears and shields. Even the builders worked with one hand and held a weapon in the other. The enemies tried to lure Nehemiah away. Come and meet with us, they said. Let's talk. I'm carrying on a great project and cannot come down. Why should the work stop while I leave it to go down to you? They sent false prophets to scare him. They sent letters to slander him. But Nehemiah didn't budge from the scaffolding. On the 25th day of the month of Elul, the unthinkable happened. It is finished. The wall was completed in just 52 days. When all their enemies heard about this, they were afraid and lost their self-confidence, because they realized that this work had been done with the help of our God. Nehemiah didn't stop at the wall. He led the people back to the word of God. They stood from morning until noon to hear the law read. They wept for their sins, but Nehemiah stopped them. Go and enjoy choice food and sweet drinks. Do not grieve, for the joy of the Lord is your strength. Nehemiah began as a servant in a foreign palace. He ended as the governor of a restored city. He proved that you don't need a crown to be a leader. You just need a heart that breaks. For what breaks God's heart? And the hands to do something about it.